Yay! Are we good?
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Lisa Novak.
Hello.
What are we talking about tonight?
We have a very, very exciting episode for you guys tonight. We are going to be talking about innovation, Mark.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got
We're going to be talking about innovation.
4 letters of our surname in that.
Yes. Yep. That's not why we're talking about innovation, but we are. We get asked a lot about this, right?
Heaps.
We do get asked a lot about innovation. We've always been very innovative, though, haven't we? I think a lot of people don't realise that innovation's nothing new to us, Mark.
It's having fun. Like innovations like this.
Yeah.
Look, ready? This is innovation. Lisa didn't reckon this was innovation. I reckon this is innovation. Look.
La.
Green screen. Stuff. How do you monetize innovation?
Yeah, and I think let's not forget we are not a TV studio. We are a real estate agency that saw about 3 years ago that moving into this whole digital social media phase was likely to be a really, really big thing. People laughed about it.
Yep.
People laughed at us. People often do laugh at us with the crazy, quirky ideas that we come up with. Let's first of all just talk about maybe what some of those ideas have looked like in the past. When Novak started, where do we start out with some crazy innovation ideas?
DY.
Yep.
We didn't have anything in the window.
Correct.
18 years ago, people thought we were nuts.
Yeah.
18 years ago, we had photos in the local newspaper for rentals. We were the only agent that had, out of 180 agents, we were the only agent that actually had photos for rentals properties in the newspaper, as well as sales properties. People thought it was overkill. They thought it was nuts. Landlords loved it. Tenants loved it because they got an idea straight away.
Yes.
18 years ago, we set up a front of house with everyone at the back. Where office, believe it or not, all offices used to be very open in their formats. So you could actually see the agents stacked up in the office. You'd walk into an office, you'd see a receptionist and you'd see bays of agents, maybe 8 agents all lined up there.
Correct.
We sort of changed that format. We had a projector in the window.
We did.
Projecting onto clear glass. People driving past were like, what the hell is that?
We were called the Novak Agency. So a lot of when Mark and I were working at the name for our independent boutique real estate agency 18, 19 years ago, most real estate agents were called blah, blah, real estate agents, estate agents. And we decided that we were going to drop that completely and call ourselves the Novak Agency.
Because everyone was calling us Novak.
Yeah.
So we were like, what are we, the Novak?
Novak. And then we decided to choose obscure colours as well and all sorts of things. But I think it's critical to point out, guys, that innovation, without a doubt, was and certainly has not been anything that's new to us. And I think the best way to define it is being crazy enough to dream it and then actually being crazy enough to do it. I think one of the issues that gets in the way with people in terms of innovation, and look, lots of people that are watching no doubt have come up with phenomenal ideas over their time in business, but then the execution and the fear of being judged or the fear of worrying about what other people are going to say about them.
The follow through.
When you go right instead of running with everyone else that's running left is always, it's always hard.
There's not a lot of support. Now, we've got some supporters on air at the moment that I'd like to shout out that have been supporters over the years. I'd like to ask those supporters, what do you know us by, so the greater community that we're broadcasting to can, because some of these things we forget to mention, we don't mention. But I noticed there was someone, Andrew Ramsey, on Instagram that was watching. Andrew is a phenomenal guy. He was a sports, the guy that sportsmen go to with their promos.
Yeah.
He was sportsman manager.
Yep.
He's very complimentary about the innovation, and he worked in our company for a couple of years. Guys, I'm going to ask you, what do you think of at Novak when you think under innovation, and how that works to serve the community and the people better?
Yeah.
Give everyone a bit of a shout out quickly and say g'day to our viewers while the audience is building up. Dom, how are you? JD Real Estate, g'day. Personal Painters, hello. Edward, g'day, buddy, from the UK. Adrian Bowes there. Paul, g'day, Adrian, good guy.
Hey, Adrian.
Don't know him personally, but I do admire him. Edward, Gilbert, Corinne, Georgie, Andrew Ramsey, you legend. And that's everyone in there as well. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, guys. So again,
Lisa just nudged me. So every time she nudges me, that's when I'm doing something wrong. She can't actually reach me to kick me, which she'll does. But
I will kick him. Don't worry.
I went on a bit too long.
I'm sure he'll let you know when I do as well.
Back to you, Lisa.
So guys, let's talk about innovation, because that's what we're here to talk about tonight. So again, innovation has never been anything new to us, but people, particularly in the last couple of years, have really seemed to understand more than ever what innovation is, and more so in the last 3 months.
It's moving so quickly.
Mark, we've had an innovation boot camp. It's called COVID. So, if people weren't innovating before COVID, they certainly understood the reasons why they had to innovate during COVID, because many companies were made to propel and innovate very, very quickly and had to think on their toes.
What are some of the great innovations you've seen through COVID, Lisa?
Within our business or within
anything inspiring?
What's some of the interesting things? Okay,
Zoom.
Look, I think, Zoom without a doubt. I don't know if that's been an innovation, but I certainly think that people have embraced it.
What is an innovation?
Without doubt. So I'll tell you what I thought was quite innovative, and that was what McDonald's did. I thought the fact that they started selling milk and eggs, it was like, really? Like, why weren't you guys doing that before? That's genius. The fact that you can drive through, you don't have to go into a supermarket right in the depths of COVID.
Buy some cookies while you're there.
That kind of stuff I find is really, really smart. And often, guys, it's the little things that you just go, how did I not think of that? How did these guys think of that? And we didn't.
It drives me nuts.
That's what it is.
Something that's sitting right under your nose, like stick-it notes, right?
Yeah.
How innovative is a stick-it note?
Yes.
Some guy, the quick story with stick-it notes is in NASA, they made glue that couldn't stick. And they said, mate, that's great, but we don't know what we can use it for.
Yeah.
And they patented it for 25 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
25 years later, someone came along and said, we actually want to have little paper things we can stick up, but we need glue that doesn't stick. Done. Innovation.
The other thing is, it's, when you are innovative and you step outside of your comfort zone, because that's really what you're doing, and you're going against the grain, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to give you all the reasons why that innovation is not going to work.
Yep.
So you're going to have the people that laugh at you, and then eventually they copy you. And that's great. Like, for us, that's the biggest form of flattery. But I think for us, Mark, as a company, as a business, and as individuals, it is something that we are, look, without meaning rude, it's almost like we've got the balls to do stuff that maybe people just simply don't have the balls to do.
Yeah, look, it's really interesting, the driver between innovation. People ask us all the time, and they're interested as to what's next, what drives you, how, why, what made you think of that?
Yeah.
I tell you, a brilliant person to follow, if you don't already, is Elon Musk. And one of the biggest fundamental drivers for him is that I noticed was just the difference between wrong and right.
Yeah.
It was like, look, I really don't care. I just know this is the right way it should be done. And that's often what we get. Now, Elon Musk, and like what you're saying, has copped an enormous amount of flack. He is consistently told that it's not good, not possible, wrong, head down the wrong rabbit hole, drain pipe, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And he comes up trumps. He's now sitting on the most valuable car company in the world, in a very, very, against people that have been in the business for over 100 years, 90 years.
And look, I think the important thing to realize, guys, and have a really good think about this, if the rate of change on the outside of your business exceeds the rate of change on the inside of your business,
Yes.
you're in trouble.
Big trouble.
Okay. So if things are moving faster on the outside and you think that that does not affect you on the inside of your business or individually as an agent or a broker or whatever it is that you may be, just be careful, because you will very quickly become or have the potential to become a dinosaur. So let's look at just the whole social thing for a moment, Mark, because we saw 2-3 years ago that the whole social media / media thing, digital thing was going to become big. We saw that maybe way before everyone else in the industry. All right. And I remember the day Mark and I were going for a walk in the morning.
It started with the song, because every day I start with my favorite song.
But I remember we'd gone for a walk in the morning and I said to Mark, I've actually starting to get a bit of traction on my social media. And I wonder if I can pop a property on there and if I can actually sell it. I reckon if I just sell one property on there, it's just that verification that this can be done, because there's just got to be another way out there for these vendors that just want to dip their toes in the water and test the market and not have to spend thousands of dollars doing it.
You know what I remember about Lisa with social media? I remember a bit of an Elon Musk moment that we just spoke about. I remember you just going, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Or probably almost like the opposite of that. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense why everyone isn't doing it, but it just makes sense that it's the biggest portal in the world. People are spending a juggernaut amount of time on it, and you were just so passionate about it being the right thing for the people.
Yeah,
it being the right thing for your seller, for your buyers. And you know what? People embraced it, but it did take time. There was adversity.
No, can I stop you there?
Yeah.
A lot of people definitely have not still embraced it.
No way.
I know there's a huge amount of pushback in the real estate industry where people are like, there's no way she's doing it.
Yeah.
There's no way that she's getting the best price for her vendors. There's still a lot of pushback. It's all very new. And look, guys, don't get us wrong. This is not the only way that we do things. I have got heaps of property on realestate.com.
Yep.
This
traditional.
This is not in competition with the property portals. This is a pre-market opportunity that vendors have that doesn't cost them any money in marketing.
Love it.
They can test the market.
Yep.
We can listen to the buyer feedback and hear where the pricing expectation is. And buyers have got the opportunity to purchase a property before it launches onto the property portal. Now, they're not picking up these properties cheaply.
No.
Of course they're not. Why would the vendors want to sell a property cheaply when we're always going to execute the plan B of getting out to realestate.com and Domain?
I don't care how much money you got. For 99.9% of Australians, $5,000 to bang out on marketing is an obscene amount of money to not know if you're going to get the money you even want for the property.
So
it does not make sense.
That's $5,000. So our marketing package is $5,000. Now I've just gone and done an appraisal in Paddington.
Yeah.
Yes, in the eastern suburbs. I'm an eastern suburbs
girl. Going international.
So I was called out to do an appraisal there. Now she pulled out the vendor pulled out a marketing package from the other agent that she'd called in, the local agent. And it was $7,000, and that was kind of just where it started. They needed her to do styling, and there was another $2,500.
And that's okay.
So we're talking $9,500.
Yeah, but the problem I got it, which has really dawned on us lately with the whole team, it's great to invest that amount of money in your campaign. It's genius to spend that money in your campaign.
Yeah.
But how do you know that you are going to get the price that you want? So to put your toe in the water with Lisa Novak or with an agent who's massive, a multimedia agent selling, it costs you nothing. It makes sense. Great. Now I know I'm going to get $1 million. Let's do an auction campaign. Great. Now I know I'm going to get $1 million. Sell it. Whatever you want. But the whole thing is that to get to that stage, innovation.
Yep.
We're using innovation.
100%. And this was not an easy thing. This was not an easy innovation. The amount of hours and the effort
adversity.
And it's been good. This is not the easy way.
No.
The easy way is actually just taking vendor paid money and putting it onto the property portal, because that just generates all the inquiry and that does a lot of the homework for the agent.
Yep.
The social media way is actually the hard way. It's a much harder way for the agent, but it's a much, much better outcome most of the time for the vendor and for the buyer as well. So talking about innovation, not only that, look, you know, all that aside, guys, it's been verified now, which was great on Thursday night. A really, really great award that I hold very, very high for the whole real estate industry. And that is the RAB award, Mark.
Most innovative agent in the country. So that was great verification right there. Great verification.
Let's give you an office tour to show you some of the innovations that have worked for our sellers, have worked for our buyers, have worked for our landlords, and have worked for our tenants. Over to you.
Yeah, let's go. Are we using the mic off this phone?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Guys, let's go. We're gonna walk you around our office.
We're just gonna have a little walkie around.
All right, let's do this. Mark, you coming with me?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's do this. So guys, I just want to introduce you to our office. We're a bit on the hop because I wasn't expecting that we were going to do this tonight, but I want to introduce you to our innovation. We're reasonably confident that there is not another real estate agency like this, certainly not in this country, but I don't usually hold my phone like this. Okay, so let's standing here, we've got 6 metre high windows, much like an Apple store, but our reception area, hang on, we're going to do some adjustments here.
Let me just adjust very quickly.
Sorry guys, we're ad-libbing here tonight.
We're ad-libbing. It's part of innovation. There's got to be stuff up. So how do you get to the top part of your screen, Miss Novak? There you go. Okay, there you go. Back to your screen. Sorry.
Okay, all right, guys. So antipasto bar. Now, many said we were crazy. How can you have an antipasto bar as a reception counter? Why not? So this is a 6 metre antipasto bar, and this is our reception counter. And yes, we do serve food. We've got salami and cheese fridges there, as you can see.
Now, the concept is when people come to your home, how does that work, Lisa?
Yep.
Okay, so the concept is when someone comes into your house, like a buddy, you give them a beer, a scotch, something to eat, whatever. And they've got no money to give you, they're a buddy. They're there to just hang out. Now, when someone comes into your business, they're generally going to transact and maybe give you money. So we were like, we can't understand why people, when they're coming into your home, you look after them so well, food, drinks, whatever they want. But then when they come into your business, nothing. So what we did is developed a little bit about how we are at home, with particularly European background. So that's why we did the antipasto, the coffee, the tea, look after people well when they come in, even if they're at any level of business, whether it's a tradesperson, whether it's a landlord selling a $5 million property, a seller with a $5 million property for $500,000, or a tenant, doesn't matter.
So the other reason was, guys, that, we saw that things were turning very digital, and it was important that we still maintain this very, very much human interaction. So we really recreated a home here. We loved, bars and cafes and places like that. So we wanted to replicate that. So that's exactly what we've done here. We've replicated a cafe style area where people can come in, tenants can come in, sign leases. Obviously there's you can see a little bit of Lisa influence there with the big chandelier. But look, the thing is that we wanted people to feel comfortable and happy with my camera.
Oh, sugar. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
That was me.
We have to stop him fiddling with all this technology. So, again, it was very important to us that, we had this human interaction as well. That's very, very important. So let's continue. We've got, lounge areas. We've got our very large 10-metre billboard. Now, the great thing about the 10-metre billboard is that not only can we so at the moment we've got a community initiative up there, but not only can we put up community initiatives, but we also can hold auctions in here. So we built this whole area so that we can clear it all out through the double doors at the back, and it completely transforms very quickly into an auction house or into a function area that the community can also use as well.
Innovation. How do you think of all these things, Lisa Novak?
If you're crazy enough to dream it, you're crazy enough to do it. That's it. That's what distinguishes someone who will actually innovate and who won't innovate. You're crazy enough to think it, you're crazy enough to do it.
Hey guys, can I give you a bit of inspiration as well? Another idea was with the front here and the way we actually work. We had an office which was the same size, and the issue that we had with our office is it was constantly full, but most of the time it was, sorry, not constantly, it was full, or a lot of the time it was just plain old empty. So we were like cramming too many people in, didn't have enough conference rooms. The conference rooms were big glass boardrooms with 8 people sitting in them. And I'm walking past cafes, common sense. I'm walking past cafes going, mortgage broker meeting with a client, solicitor meeting with a client, friend meeting with a friend, mum meeting with 3 friends. Everyone's willing to hold these meetings 1 or 2 meters away from each other. Why as an industry do we put everyone in these big chunky glass conference rooms where we don't use them all the time? So that's why we set up a cafe setup in our office where we had seating area for 4, seating area for 2, seating area for 1, seating area for 4, 2, 3, 2, and then again over to here, seating area. You can have people here, people over there. So we could actually hold 12 meetings in the office all separately, and we utilise the same amount of space that we had in the old office. It just made sense.
It just made sense. People sit in cafes, they meet in bars, and can easily have meetings. So we just replicated that. Let's wander over there. So guys, just in keeping with our the whole media, social media thing, you know, when we realised that it really was a thing, and it actually did transact and bring us quite a lot of business, and it really assisted a lot of people, the community, and you know, people within our industry as well. We then decided that we were going to build a studio, our own in-house studio, because we do a lot of filming, and this came in it was extremely effective during COVID, because we obviously had to get messages out to an enormous amount of people quickly. So tenants, landlords, we manage over 1,500. Oh my God, he's flipping around this camera so much, I don't know where I'm going. So, you know, we're managing over 1,500 properties. So you can imagine during COVID, we had to get messages out to tenants, landlords quickly. So we have our studio. Bring in the studio. What have we got here? We've got a bit of feedback happening. So we have a proper film studio here. Proper film studio. We've got studio lighting. Extremely important. It's not us being vain. It's actually very, very important to have proper studio lighting. And we've got all of our screens set up here as well. So
why 4 screens?
So not only can we see what's going on here while we're filming, we can see comments and all sorts of things, but we can also do all sorts of proposals and things like that. Presentations rather, for clients that are overseas or can't come into the office. Again, this was particularly fantastic during COVID for obvious reasons.
Innovation.
I did an interview the other day, Mark, true story, and they asked me, what did we change during COVID? And I said, absolutely nothing. I kind of feel like as a business, we were set up and ready for it in many aspects. And that's what happens, guys, when you're really thinking, you know, light years ahead. It's important. Are we going back over here? What are we doing?
Yeah, let's go back.
Let's go back.
Let's sum it all up.
All right, so let me just get back into my seat here. We've got the green screen happening. Just bear with us, guys. We're just going to, if anyone's got any questions, it hasn't switched to your mobile. Someone's just saying, I don't know what happened there.
Get back online. Are we good?
Yep.
Are we back?
Yep.
All right, fantastic. So look, if anyone has any questions at all, please shoot them through to us. We're very, very happy to answer those for you. It's certainly been a crazy ride, Mark. What's next for us?
Trailer.
Move on in. We need to move on in. What's next?
Trailer.
What about the trailer?
I got a trailer.
Yeah.
I got a really nice trailer. Arrived tonight at 7 o'clock, and we're going to do Novak storage and Novak trailer hire.
Yep.
For our landlords, our tenants, our buyers, our sellers. They can use our trailer. just having a go. Doesn't work, that's fine. We'll sell it for what we bought it for. Works, people love it, they love it, helps them more.
Yeah. I think
have a go.
Well, that's the thing, right? Just have a go, and also don't forget to have a little bit of fun. I think.
I wanted a trailer.
And I often say this, Mark, when I do my talks now, that
no one asked me to talk, by the way.
But look, I've
built this whole thing. I built this whole thing, like, been in the industry for 27 years, never asked to talk.
I'm just trying to bring up our comments.
Anywhere at all.
Yeah.
Like, built the office, worked like an animal for 27 years, never asked to talk anywhere.
Okay. All right.
But now, Lisa gets to talk everywhere.
But guys,
everyone likes to hear Lisa talk everywhere.
I just want to reiterate that.
Can I just say something? Can I finish off on that?
Yes, you may.
I actually don't want to. I don't want to go on. I've never been. I'm happy to do it on instant media, on social media, but I'm not really. I don't really want to talk.
Yeah.
Serious. I'm happy. Just.
He's happy cruising along.
I'm happy. Yeah.
But there was so many things, right, Mark? And you know this, obviously. Mark and I are married, and there was many things that I saw moving into sales. I kept saying to Mark, I don't understand. Like, there's so much of the industry that's really just stuck in a time warp, and I don't understand why everyone, for the most part, is just doing the same things. I couldn't get that. I couldn't understand how people didn't want to do something that was a little bit different. I must say, and I know Adrian's on here at the moment, hopefully he's still watching, but McGrath is definitely one of those brands that I've always respected. John is not only a personal friend, but he's someone that has always pushed the boundaries.
Innovated.
You know, in terms of real estate. And I know when he started McGrath many, many, many years ago, he always was that agency that just, did that 1% extra that made him stand out.
How'd it go?
And even the offices and everything, they were always the first to have the fridges and, offices that didn't really look like real estate agencies. Look, guys, at the end of the day, I think, the most important thing is that if something resonates with you, and if you truly believe that,
that's big.
If you truly believe in something, stop listening to the noise and just go for it.
Yeah.
Just go for it, because people are always going to ridicule you, particularly when you're going against the grain. People generally like to follow.
If you nail it, and friggin' nail it, it is such a good idea. You're going to get those people. Fact, if you're like, I don't care. Like, I watch heaps of Kim Kardashian. Love it.
He lives with 3 girls. He has no option. You're looking at the green screen. I don't know why it's not coming up on there, but
the green screen's on Instagram. That's all right.
Oh, the green screen's on Instagram. Sorry, Facebook can't see that.
I'm not a fan, but the family's always watching it. But on a serious note, how much they cop it all the time. They cop it. Anyway, it's just, guys, if you want to innovate, get ready to like, as long as you're 50. You know what a friend said to me when I first started in business. Great guy. He was the landlord of the property we rented. He said, Mark, my friend, just work on the 2%. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, everyone's really focused on getting the 80% to 90% or the 90% to 95%. He goes, friend, just work on the 2%. I still don't get it. He said, well, 49%, 51%, there's your 2%. Just make sure, he goes, there's so many areas in your business, and when you have a look around, that you can work on, that you can take from 49% to 51%, from wrong to right. So as long as you got that, keep working on those 2% in your business, my friend. And I was like, wow. So when we do stuff and we innovate, we're more concerned that we're making more people happy than less people happy. Bottom line.
Mark, I remember 100%. I remember when we opened up our
James Mark.
I remember when we opened up our real estate agency across the road from here. Before we purpose built this office, but prior to that we used to be across the road in a really, really nice office, and we were there for about 14 years.
Yeah.
And I remember then we said, you know what? We're not going to put
$1 million in rent.
We're not going to put any photos of property at all in the window. And we had some of our sales guys come to us then and say, people are complaining. People are complaining. People are not signing up with us because they're saying you don't look and act like a proper real estate agency.
Yep.
And we said, guys, embrace the brand. This is something new.
It's the future.
Embrace the brand. Do you remember that?
Well, we did research out of the top 20 things to do to find a property. Walking past a window, looking in a window did not make the top 20. So we simply didn't do it. We explained to the reps, we explained to our clients, it is not necessary. Let's put that focus on the top 5 things and do those better than the 21st thing and trying to be all things to all people. It worked a treat.
But didn't it make sense to get people to come into the office and actually have conversations with us? That's what we wanted.
More power,
we didn't want them
energy.
window shopping. We wanted them to come in and actually have those conversations. And again, this is why we have our antipasto bar. And there is never, ever an hour where there is not people sitting all over this office. They come in, they drink coffee, they laugh, they read papers, they connect to the internet. They're not always here transacting, but they're definitely utilising the facilities. And that's what it's all about as well.
And you know what? I love sharing secrets. I reckon people don't get it.
Well, I tell the world about the whole social media thing.
But,
like
to
nice.
execute it's very hard. I get that. But to follow through it, it's even harder. But I do think that when you can share with your creator community, your real estate community, or your local business people on what you do, it then actually propels you to move on to do bigger and better things as well. It actually pushes you forward rather than pulling you back. So people often don't get why we're so forthcoming with information with industry people and business people. We're just about to run a social media night for our local businesses to show them how to interact with their community on social better. Why? Because it pushes us forward. It's weird.
Yeah. But, it's so true, because it's one thing to think up the innovation. It's another thing to actually execute it. And then the hard bit is to be consistent.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. So to actually be consistent with that and to block out that noise. But I think, guys, just to finish up on a positive note, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You've got to block out that noise. I did an interview the other day with Tom Panos, and he said, aren't you worried, about what people, might think and say? It wasn't exactly how he said it, but it was along those lines, with regards to my selling property on social media as my pre-market. And I said, no, I'm definitely not. Because when you feel so passionately about something and you know that it's actually for the betterment of other people, how can it be bad? How can it be bad?
Especially when you know what you know the deals you're doing on it, the deals you've done on it, the interaction you have, you can't take that away. So
100%. Let's just see if we've got some questions here. Andrew Ramsey, are you worried about possible constraints that Facebook may put on you? No.
Facebook is selling eyeballs just like we which is what we are attracting eyeballs. They're selling them, we're attracting them. They like it.
Yeah, definitely.
Corinne
and
says,
when
love
Facebook's no more, there'll be something else.
Next.
It's always being replaced. There's always some new social media portals. So
still looking at the green curtain. Oh, that was an older one.
Paul, I made my whole team follow Novaks. Woo! And all the Novak teams. So there you go. I call you the Novaks. We love that. Thanks, Paul. Hope you're well.
Love Lisa's passion. She portrays live. She's believable and hence built up a huge audience.
Oh, thanks, legend. Thank you, guys.
Another one, Mark, will you come and talk at ARIC next year? No, I'm not interested, guys. I'm happy for Lisa to do all the public talking and no one wants me to do any of it. That's fine. I'm not interested. You know what? No, I'm not coming now. No.
Well, do you want to hear a funny story? Just a fun fact before we finish up. One of my biggest fears in life was actually public speaking. True story, right? Up until 2 years ago, I was honestly petrified
You used to be
about
very
public
scared of me
speaking.
as well. I'm very dominating figure.
No, never.
Yeah.
We'll pretend that. All right, guys, that's it from us. We hope you enjoyed tonight's segment. Sorry, it was a little bit all over the shop, but that's all part of the fun.
That's what we do.
Awesome week. We hope we've shone some light on some of the innovations that we have done here at Novak. We have fun along the way.
Believe in yourself, guys. When you know in the heart of hearts that it's the right thing for you, your customers, your community. When you know that, don't listen to everyone. that 2% I was talking about before, 51%, 49%. Don't focus on getting to 99%. You'll never get there.
100%. Listen to the voice in your head. If it sounds right and it feels right, it is right. That's
Love
it.
ya. Love ya. See ya.